Lesson 10: The Top 5 Types of Social Proof. The concept of social proof derives from the work of a psychologist named Robert Cialdini, who documented dozens of studies showing the ways in which people seek to conform to how others reacted. For instance, comedy shows where you hear people laughing at the jokes, even if it's a canned laugh track, are rated as funnier than those without any laughing. In an age of interactive digital media, social proof has become so important that many people would not think of booking a vacation rental or buying an album without evidence that other people liked it. Here are the 5 most common ways to work social proof into your copy. First is testimonials, quotations from customers or clients that praise a company, service provider, or product and say why. If it's from a prominent individual, celebrity, or social media influencer, some would call that an endorsement. The testimonial on screen is excellent in a couple of ways. It's specific in its praise, and it indicates a particular point of view for that praise. It's being from a, quote, plus-size woman. It talks in both concrete and emotional terms, which is good, and it talks about results, getting compliments. The one aspect where it falls short is that we don't get Barbara's last name. Testimonials with full names provide the greatest amount of credibility because the testimonial giver is standing behind his or her words. If you'd like to know more about how to solicit, edit, and display testimonials, download my PDF chapter called Testimonials. The second type of social proof is user ratings and user reviews. If you've done any online shopping at all, you've seen the average ratings from 1 to 5 stars on e-commerce sites and their user reviews. For instance, a set of headphones that I looked at got an average of 4.2 out of 5 stars, and they have 804 reviews. Unquestionably, these are useful for shoppers. But don't assume they sell just by themselves. The other day, my husband was thinking of buying a computer on eBay, and he asked what I thought. The seller's ratings were excellent, but when I looked through the reviews, there were 2 or 3 that were blisteringly negative. That prompted me to look through what the guy was selling, and I told my husband, look, this guy doesn't normally sell computers, so it's a little suspicious why he would have a supposedly new computer to sell. We agreed, therefore, not to buy from him, despite his ratings. If you're a copywriter for a client who has user reviews, always look through them to see if there's a particular review you want to pluck out and elevate into the main copy. Third, we have surveys, which might be done by the company or by a third party. I particularly like the example from First Direct Bank shown here for several reasons. First, it says an independent survey. Not only that, but as part of a regulatory requirement, which makes it even more believable that it was not skewed in favor of First Direct. In this survey, when 1,000 customers were asked if they would recommend their current bank to friends and family, First Direct came out number 2. Any company that touts a survey where they weren't number 1 becomes extremely credible. They're very likely to be telling the truth rather than blowing promotional hot air. Consider also the question that was asked. How likely would you be to recommend your bank to family and friends? That tends to be a good indicator of how another shopper would feel doing business with them too. The fourth type of social proof is numbers, sales figures, subscriber numbers, and even earnings in some cases. Think of how McDonald's, the fast food chain, right on its signage brags about its sales, so high they sometimes only say billions sold. Likewise, many newsletters, when they ask you to sign up, tell you how many tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands or millions of subscribers they have. This evokes what commentators called FOMO, F-O-M-O, people's fear of missing out. The one thing I'd tell you not to do here is to say 50,000 subscribers can't be wrong, because the smart alecky retort that automatically comes up in some readers' minds there would be, oh, yes, they can be. Indeed, if you think about it rationally, no matter how many other people liked something doesn't predict whether or not you would, especially when you don't know whether or not those people are like you or not. And the fifth type of social proof is providing links for something like top sellers or most popular. Many shoppers find that a useful shortcut for identifying what to choose or look at. You could also add a sort of badge or icon within product listings for top sellers or most popular items, or just mention within your write-up that it's a most popular or best-selling item. Another don't comes from an experience I once had shopping for a skincare product on a website that I'd never visited before. Along the bottom scrolled little blurbs saying that so and so, just first name and last initial, from such and such a town, just bought a such and such. I was aghast. Even though there were no last names, this seemed such an egregious violation of consumer privacy that I didn't want to shop there. In the next lesson, we'll run through some kinds of credibility killers, elements that lower a company's perceived trustworthiness.